So how do you be successful when you're in a long distance relationship? Let's chat about it. Peace and cheers, folks. Coach Mark Mahalovic. I'm back again. For those that were paying attention, I've been in basic military training for the last 7.5, 8 weeks, and I just got to tech school out in Texas. So super grateful for that experience. Obviously, I wasn't able to post anything. Didn't have my cell phone for a while, but here we are back at tech school. I'm on my cell phone. I'm getting my computer soon, so bear with me if the editing's not fantastic, but hopefully the content is. So without further ado, let's chat about tonight's video, which is how to be successful in a long distance relationship. So my current girlfriend, she's back in Minnesota, I'm in Texas. Obviously, we're split by quite a few states and about a 12-hour drive. Not forever, but it's for the next 2.5, 3 months, give or take. And I haven't seen her, well, it's been 2.5 months since I've seen her because I was at basic, right? So we just recently have been able to do like FaceTime and texting because you don't get your phone in basic training. So all we could do is do snail mail and write letters, which was kind of cool in its own sort of way. But anyway, success in a long-term relationship starts with a couple key things, one of them being communication. So if you know, or if it's yourself or your partner, if you guys know that one of you is going to be moving away for a period of time, whether they're going to the military, whether it's for your career, whether it's for family, whatever the obligation might be, don't go into that without some kind of a plan, right? As the same old adage goes, and I did a short on this a little while ago, if you fail to plan, then plan to fail. And that goes for relationships, especially for relationships, right? Because why? If you don't communicate what the outlook's going to look like when you're gone, if you don't communicate when you're going to be busy, when you're free, how to contact you, whatever, all that stuff, if you don't get those ground rules set in play, both of you guys are going to be in a state of mind where it's, what the hell, you know? And that can be alleviated by just communicating. So that, for me, is one of the number one biggest things is communication. What does you going away look like? So for me, before I left for basic training, my girlfriend and I had that talk. You know, hey babe, I get a phone call basically when I get there, then I get one week 3, week 5, and week 7. Other than that, here's my address, send me mail, I'll send you mail back, vice versa, right? So we had an understanding of what communication was going to look like. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. Fast forward to 8 weeks later, when I graduated BMT, when we were able to talk again, same thing. Well, now I'm in tech school. I got my phone back. Okay, what does communication look like now? Okay, well, I have my phone back. I'm going to be free during these days and times. Let's set up a weekly FaceTime date, right? So every Sunday, her and I agreed to do a weekly FaceTime, kind of like a little bit of a date, catch up for whatever hour or 2 hours, whatever it might be. But that's what we do. Every Sunday is going to be a FaceTime date. Obviously, we'll do some little texting throughout the week, just some check-ins, phone call here and there for free. She'll call me, I'll call her, type of deal. But every Sunday we have a set date. Okay, so that's important. The communication aspect, what's communication look like? But also the next thing is having the plan, right? Is having a plan for success while you or your partner is gone, i.e. having a weekly date on FaceTime of some sorts, right? Because then you still get kind of like that essence of, okay, we're setting time aside for each other, right? We're putting time aside each week for each other. We're prioritizing each other, and you got to make it fun, right? Her and I we can just talk for an hour, 2 hours, and make fun and joke and have a good time doing it. But for you guys, might be different, right? Maybe you watch a movie together. Maybe you watch a show together. I know her and I talked about watching a new sitcom a couple times throughout the week on like Netflix or Prime and talking about it on Sundays, like what we liked about it, didn't like, all that stuff. So communicate and have a plan, for me, are the two biggest things: communication and having a plan, okay? If you can do those two things effectively with your significant other, neither one of you is going to have to guess when you're going to hear from them. And again, you can get creative and try to make it fun, right? Make it like it's not the same if you're together, obviously, but at least you can make it fun and still feel that connection. Because that's what's important, right? Is how you maintain that connection, maintain that polarity. Now, with polarity, right? Masculine and feminine energy, right? As a human, male or female, if you guys are going long distance for a while, both of you have to be focused on what you're going to be focused on while you're away, right? And that's important. Don't try to force communication. That's why you need a plan as far as what things look like when you're away from each other. So when you have that plan, and follow that plan, follow the communication, don't deviate from it. Okay, obviously life happens, stuff's going to come up, that's okay, but get back on track. Make sure you both are on the same page as often as humanly possible, so you know what the expectations are. Okay, that's super important. The next biggest thing, well, another big thing when you're doing long distance, is outside of weekly FaceTime dates or weekly communication, having that plan and when you're going to do it. But see if you can't set a time to see each other, right? And what I mean, well, you know what I mean by that, seeing each other, but maybe it's once a month. Maybe once a month, either you can fly back or she can fly to see you, drive, whatever it is, whatever your situation is, but have something big to look forward to, right? Yeah, the weekly dates are good to look forward to. I look forward to our Sunday FaceTimes, but also try to plan something in the future to look forward to, okay? You kind of maintain that spark, maintain that curiosity, which goes back into you both focusing on what you need to focus on, right? Because you both have lives, you both need to focus on your life. You can't have two incomplete people coming together to make a whole. It does not work. You both still need to be complete. You both still need to focus on your stuff while you're away from each other. Why? Because then when you come together, you're both complete people. Now, the next big, when it comes to texting communication, is don't overdo communication, right? Just because you're away from each other, guys especially, does not mean you start to get worried or anxious and you start to sporadically text every single day, call every single day, or get mad at her, or girls, you get mad at him if they don't get back to you in a timely fashion. They're busy. So don't start blowing your partner up if they don't get back to you during long distance. It's scary, it creates a lot of anxiety, and I get that, but you have to allow the person to be free. You have to trust in them that they're going to hold their end of the bargain by doing that weekly FaceTime date, calling when they say they're going to call. You get the drift, right? So don't deviate too far from what you guys talked about. Don't radically change your behavior just because you're away, right? They fell in love with you for a reason when you first met them. So be that person, grow together, become a better version of yourself, but don't start changing your habits drastically just because you're away, right? And I would venture up to say too, because excess communication in long distance is a bad thing, I think. Why? Because then it's just like if you guys are together all the time. Imagine living together every single day. If you're always doing the same exact thing, it gets boring. You don't want that. So if you're long distance, less is more in a lot of ways, because when you get to that weekly FaceTime date or that weekly phone call, or even, if it's like a bi-weekly get-together, a monthly get-together, you're going to have a lot to talk about. You're going to have more to chat about together, which is what you want. You want to be curious about what they're doing, and they should be curious about what you're doing. And you ruin that curiosity, ruin that mystery if you try to do too much, okay? So don't do too much. Find that sweet spot when it comes to communicating. Ask your partner how they're doing. Ask if they're feeling fulfilled with communication, if they like the plan. Yeah, it's going to be hard on the both of you if you both are gone away from each other. If you both love each other, it's going to be hard. It is what it is. Not forever, but it is what it is right now. So understand that you both are going through something similar when it comes to missing each other. That's okay. But you can't let emotions get the best of you. You can't start to overdo stuff and then push that person away, right? You don't want them to start to like not being, you don't want them to like not being around you because you're freaking out because they didn't text you back right away, or they didn't call you that day, or you missed a FaceTime date, whatever. Again, shit happens. Do the best you can with what you got. Communicate. Get a plan in place, okay? So communicate what it's going to look like, and then develop a plan based upon that for both of you to feel good about, and for both of you to be successful. If you can do that for a period of time, make it fun, get creative with some stuff, you'll come back together and it's going to be just like nothing happened. You'll have stories to share. Sure, coming back together is going to be a little weird at first, right? Because you haven't seen each other in a long time, whatever it might be, a couple weeks, a month, 2-3 months, whatever it is. Be a little awkward at first, but understand that. Communicate that. Hey, babe, I know it's been a while since we've seen each other. It might be a little weird for a bit, but, we'll do the best we can, and we'll move forward from this experience, right? So, hope that was beneficial. Just take a deep breath. If you guys are going to go a long distance, it's going to suck for a little while, but get creative, have fun with it, which you can do. If I can do it, you guys can do it, right? So, hope the video was helpful, as always. If you guys do want any kind of one-on-one coaching, my email is going to be up there, flyinghealthcoach@gmail.com. Even at Tech School right now, I do have a lot more free time, so it will be available for coaching. Or even shoot me an email with your success stories. I love hearing people who are successful and long-term relationships, long-distance relationships, going through trials and tribulations. I love to hear it. So please shoot me an email with your success stories, and feel free to comment below if you have any stories to tell yourself or have any feedback for that matter, right? I don't have all the answers. I've studied this stuff a lot. I've had a lot of experiences with this stuff, which is why I'm sharing it with you. But if you have your own experience, please share it down below. We all can learn from each other. At the end of the day, folks, hope it's helpful. And remember, just got to believe. Until next time, peace and cheers.